She's in a very strong spot right now. In regards to the Lissandra pick, I love Lissandra. I love the ability that you have to either lock down a single target, which you can put it on the Rumble, you can put it on the Draven, two very good targets, or you can use it to heal yourself up after you dive in, basically as a free Zhonya's with damage. And I think combining that, like you said, so much CC on the side of UB, they're basically looking to lock FEC in a corner.
When we talked to YUBI before the game, they actually highlighted Haps as the best person on FEC, so I'm really interested to see what this Leona can do. They told me that they're going to be channeling their mind control to make FEC worse in general.
Hopefully that'll work. However, there is a potential that FEC may have built themselves some tinfoil hats, so maybe that'll help protect them. We'll find out.
It's the direct counter to the mind control trick that I've been told.
It is the direct counter. Having experienced it myself, I can definitely say yes, tinfoil does work. Just if you're bald, it makes your head a little hot. All right, so looking at little hot. Lack of airflow means you sweat.
All
right, looking at these, I kind of like Yubi's bans for some reason. Like just the combination of the Sylas and Veigar, two high magic dealing champions that are just like no magic damage for you. These stay away.
Lulu Malphite, so Lulu is to buff Ashe. Lulu's a really good pick. Malphite is to, dive. Yone. Oh, I love this. I love FEC's draft, actually. I love Yone and Rumble. It's actually one of the most low-key, disgusting combos in the game. You can scoop people into the Rumble ulti with your Yone ult, with your R, or vice versa, and you can just ult on Rumble and you can scoop it with Yone and that kind of stuff. I actually really like FEC's draft right now.
I completely agree. I like a lot of the hard engage that FEC has decided to pick up. Hopefully
it's the Kong, Sherigan. It's the Kong, dude.
You mother of... Oh, God. Okay. FEC, you better take UB down this game. It's going to be near impossible for them to do because they have so much AD on their side of their team. And they're going to be... They're squishy enough that Wukong is going to be nasty. I think right now Leon is the only one who's going to be able to survive a major Wukong assault. But... I'm wondering who's going to go top lane to counter this. FEC, I hope you got something in your pocket that you're ready to respond with.
Zach. Ooh. So they're trying to, they're going to try to murder this Draven. All right, interesting.
Yep. That is a hard dive into the back line with the Lissandra Claw, the Zac Jump, and the Wukong Invisibility. They're all going straight for Draven. Knock him out of the fight, keep him from actually being a problem. Yeah, and then
they need a disengaged champion here, in my opinion. I mean, like a Gragas or something. A Jace?
That or a harder tank? Jace? That's... Okay, we got poke. We got hard damage and poke. But I'm not seeing a lot of... I'm seeing like an all-or-nothing comp on the side of FEC right now.
Yeah, I really don't like that. I think they really need to disengage. I don't know, maybe a tank in the top lane or something like that. There's 4 champions on the side of UB that are diving, really? Well, I guess 3 more. It's Wukong, Zac, and Lissandra. They're going to dive into your Draven and murder him. There's going to be a lot of AD now with your Jace. Rumble will be fine. Rumble is a really good champion. I really want to see how this comp goes, actually.
I am looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I do like Jace, if he goes in the top lane, having the ability to poke out the Wukong, which will be really useful for the side of FEC. Right now, though, my money is on UB. I like their draft just because of the nature of the Zac Wukong combo. I think that it's going to be absolutely devastating to FEC, and they're going to lose that back line a lot faster than they expect.
Yo, I'm actually going to go against my boys, and I'm going to say FEC actually wins this game. I think their comp is fun. Yeah, I actually like their comp a lot, and UB is continuously disrespecting me with this Senate picks and these kind of things. So I'm gonna do it 5,000 on FEC right now. Give me my payout.
Give you your payout. All right. Well, let's see how things end up going. We're gonna hop over to the Rift.
30 seconds until minions.
All right, I talk about this top bush every single time. Top laners, please, if you're going to be up here, be outside the bush a little bit. You can actually see, or you're gonna get that really painful invade, where you're going to see them at the very last second, you will die. ETL was very synonymous with doing this on the Mythic League last season, when they were in there. Shout out to my boy Marcus, who cast earlier today.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. That's one of those spots that I understand why you want to hide the bush, because you want to basically have the invisibility that being hidden gives you. However, at the same time, because you can't see what's coming, it's just you're gonna get slapped in the face by a random person walking in.
Well, the 5 fan is just to make sure that people stop invades, and when you're doing that, you're not stopping invade. You're just sitting there. You're pretty much doing nothing.
Right. I do think it's interesting that we have Rumble starting weak side on red first rather than doing a traditional bot top clear. So that probably means we're going to be looking, like I said, to protect this bot lane a lot.
Yeah, Zach's going to be pathing to the top lane, which is it's going to be a kill matchup, especially since Freelancer actually went Ignite top. No flash, which is interesting. He has to kill Jace if he's doing that, and Rumble will be pathing towards the bot.
Yeah, Rumble's... What do you think about that path bot?
I think it's the right call for him, especially because I think that Chase can be fine to Wukong early, and you really want to get this Draven ahead. This is going to be a lot of matchups in both the side lanes that are actually like very aggressive in general. Draven wants to kill Ashe and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
and I do like Beshiwap doing a good job of making sure that those axes fall behind him rather than in front, forcing him to walk up closer to lane. I think up until level... They're not going to get the level 2 spike on the side of FEC, so that Leona level 2 engage is probably not going to happen. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're basically going to focus on getting Beshiwap fed as much farm as possible, probably just relying on the Rumble ganks in order to get ahead.
very smart by Jeff and Brian here in the bot lane. They pushed for the level 2 advantage because, you know, Leona is a very, very strong level 2 champion. They got the level 2, poked out Draven a bit so that they can get the secure. Good by them.
Well, right here we got Paytime getting a nice, decent chunk of damage taken on himself. Not a lot on the side of Freelancer, though. That is a good route by Brian.
Nice. Morgana Q, nice, and pretty much nothing's happening. Rumble is right here. It's going to be the scuttles right here. So this is usually when kills start to happen. You want to try to get mid-prio, no matter what, really, for these scuttles.
That you do. Beshi had to drop an axe right there, avoiding going in front of the minion wave. We've got Paytime in the top again. We're looking at the way these CS is breaking down. Wukong's ahead right now by about 2 waves. We've got a pretty much even jungle here. Oh, that is a nasty route. The cleanse is going to have to come out from Beshiwap as he gets ignited as well. That was not a good engage. That was a really good engage on the side of YUBI.
Yeah, he has to just be a little bit more cautious when that kind of stuff. You want to use your minion wave to block skill shots, and there's a slight window when the waves come together where you can throw it in between them, and that's exactly what Morgana did. Very smart by Brian. In general, get the cleanse out from Draven.
Yep, right now we have our Wild is having to back right now in the main line. Paytime is aware that Zach is sitting right outside that bush, decides to just basically hover under tower. Wukong is getting engaged. He's getting knocked back, though. I feel like this is probably going to be basic lane states for most of this game. I think FEC is basically going to be hugging their towers for as long as possible, looking for those opportunities, and hopefully they're able to pull something out against YUBI, because we know YUBI likes scaling comps. They like going to the end of these games. This is going to be a really, really bad spot.
Wait,
that is a good engage Paytime. There, he is level 6. The ult comes out. That is going to be a lot of damage coming out, and the Ignite is going to take him down. That's going to be first blood over the side of Freelancer.
Your Kong snapping out again, and people refuse to ban it.
Refusing to ban the Wukong. I'm telling you people, you either pick him or you ban him. If you know that you don't need it, get rid of it. Beshi is in a really bad spot. I would not be hanging out here if I was him. I would probably just be like, you know what, we're going to take a gold diff back and get out, because he is just one Morgana Q, one Ashe volley away from death right now.
Yeah, when you're that close, it's very difficult, especially because I'm a bot lane. I refuse to do that, and you know, you're just times you have to do it. I don't
like Paytime once again fighting in a situation he does not want to fight. He does not have the damage to take on Freelancer.
Yeah, and this Chase he went last pick into the Wukong, so he saw this. This is like a blind Wukong, and he went Cole and Mana and Tear of the Goddess. So is he just FFing lane when you're Jace?
I'm not sure exactly what it is that he's doing right now. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, and it really does not make sense to me. Maybe there's some kind of blue Jace build that we have not seen. Maybe it's some kind of Korean hidden OP pick. We've got Camel Basil right now getting caught out. We do have Zach jumping on him, but he's not going to actually get on top of the Spirit form, which does prevent the CC from coming through.
Mana Immune is something that you do go on Jace, but I just don't like that you went Cull first and then you're going Tear the Goddess again, which is a double scaling thing where like you're just never gonna beat Wukong from this point on, the early thing. When Jace wants to kill early, he is aggressive laner, and now he's just FFing lane.
Oh, right there. That was fantastic. Let's go ahead and rewind this as we get to see Camel Basil do a tower dive. So it looks like he's starting off with pretty decent wave position. Sivlock is half health with no mana, so that means that Camel Basil does not have to worry about the ult. He dives right in. Ult comes out. Double knockups, double slashes. That's a kill. That was really clean.
It's unusual disrespect by Sivlock. You should have saw that Yon had the double Q, and then you got the knockup, and once you got that knockup with that immediately into ulti, very clean by Yon.
Mhm.
Good job by him. I think a little bit disrespect by Lysandra, but
Well, I did hear a rumor that Sivlock is red-green colorblind, which is why they banned the Vladimir, because you can't see that. However, Yone also has a lot of red on him, so maybe that's what's going on.
maybe he couldn't see him. He just
The samurai was in fact a ninja in this situation.
So right now, what we've been told by rumors is the ways to beat Yubi are tinfoil hats and picking all red champions.
Mm-hmm. That's apparently it. Apparently that is their kryptonite. Although I guess technically it would be red kryptonite.
That also
All right.
like you to go all ignite. I think everyone should go ignite summoner spells as well.
Because then they won't be able to tell who has which summoner up.
Yeah, this is actually huge, man.
This is a huge engage by Paytime, but it is absolutely going to go so poorly. So much damage from the side of Freelancer that Paytime is just not respecting as Zach comes in to finish it off.
This is just gonna happen over and over again too.
I'm sorry, Paytime. I don't understand exactly what's going on right here. I think that YUBI has got this game on lock. That top lane is in such a bad state right now. 61 to 38. That's double the CS difference on the side of YUBI.
Wukong in general is a very hard champion to play against, especially for lower tier teams or plat players and these kind of things. I wouldn't say they're lower, but you get what I mean.
I do. I get exactly what you mean. Like it's one of the more intensive champions you just got to be careful about. And then looking at this, that was a nice engage, but the Haps does not buffer the Q, so the Black Shield does have time to come out. The root comes down, the chain's coming out as well. The Leona ulti does come out and gets a lot of damage. Brian Sang getting really low. That's going to be a flash out by Beshuwap. A flash by Brian Sang as Beshuwap picks up the kill.
Very good, and I love that bot fight. This is actually a lot closer than it should have been. I think I don't know if Leona had Ignite at all, but
Leona does have Ignite. It was available.
Did she have Ignite
during
for the
most of
fight?
She did, but she was too far away to actually activate it when it mattered. It was whenever they got caught out. Haps was not in a position to actually get the Ignite onto the target it needed to be on, which really sucks.
I feel like if they would have got their Ignite down, they would have killed at least Morgana, but very good counter engage by Morgana and Ashe. That's one of the biggest problems with this bot lane in general is when you go in to them, there's really no going out because they'll just perma-slow you or CC you.
That's exactly it. And then the biggest issue that Leona has to worry about is when Morgana gets rooted in place by the E, they're most likely going to drop the black shield on whatever target got locked by the Zenith Blade. So you've got to make sure you're buffering that Q so that it automatically goes out before the black shield has time to come out. Or you just hold it. And you got to make sure that you're waiting on your CC for that black shield.
So
It's a tricky thing, but you can do it.
one of the things about picking Zac in general is when you're the enemy jungle, you want to invade him. Same thing with the Moo. I don't think I've seen Rumble invade yet so far.
Rumble has been power farming like crazy, and unlike the last couple of games, there has not been a lot of ganks by the junglers except for Zac going into these top lane fights, which have gone majorly in his favor, like this current one against like this solo fight for Freelancer. And it has set him behind a little bit in CS, but really not that great.
Yeah, and this is just going to keep happening over. Oh, nice Morgana binding as well.
That was a good binding.
I don't know what to do with this top. Like, he's just. I don't know if this is a
I'm
problem.
not sure what
Yeah,
Paytime's
yeah,
exactly
he's-
trying to do. There's just so much damage coming out right there. That is a good equalizer coming out from Wild West Wild, trying to even up this top lane. That is Beshiwap trying to using up the cleanse, getting rooted, dark binding, dark chains coming out. That is so much damage, and that is going to be a huge amount of glory lost for poor Draven right there. That basically is going to probably get him. That was a fantastic Glacial Prison coming out from Sivlock right there.
Very smart to ult himself. With the Yon scoop, you can't really ult him when he's doing that. good. Brian is so good at hitting these Morgana Qs in this window where the minions are slowly collapsing to the other. Zach should E on the thing right here. Does he? Okay, he should.
Zach decides not to and actually backs off. We've got a little bit of trolling coming out from the League of Legends camera. Yeah. Brian has been fantastic, you're right.
Yeah, the spot lane, I don't... I hate to, like, always talk about how good the YUBI bot lane is. I think,
That is a nice engage coming out from Utility Monster, trying to get onto Camel Basil. They're basically going to sit in this lane right now as the fight's going to keep on going. Camel going in onto Sivlock. Sivlock does not have Glacial Prison. That is a Ignite kill coming out for Camel Basil. He is going to take a tower shot, but just completely ignores the Zac during that fight.
Super clean by Yon. That was actually nasty, dude.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where Yone gets really, really terrifying, is when basically he goes Spirit form, avoiding the initial engager, who set it up the fight in a very poor position. Look at, once again, we've got Wild West Wild trying to pick out Utility Monster. This is going to be a fight around Dragon Pit. Draven, while he was killed, does have a decent amount of damage with those spinning axes. So they should be able to pick this Drake up fairly easy. We do have Zac jumping in onto the backline. That is going to be a huge fight coming out. Jeff God Gamer is going to have ulti ready. They are trying to keep this Drake in play. That is a smite coming down to get the red team the Drake. There is a fight going on the top side right here as we have Wukong getting taken down by the Draven. Jeff God Gamer is currently trapped in the Dragon Pit, but Brian Sang comes in to be like, hey, I'm going to protect my bot laner. Not going to really matter as Jace jumps onto the Jeff God Gamer, gets taken down by the Ash arrows. Leona trying to do what they can, but we have in the back line, this is a fight that went over to the side of YUBI because I lost track of exactly what was going on.
Yeah, in general, this was a good fight by FEC. I think they were just super split. We get the replay right here. The god known as Chris Edgeworth, direct to Chris. And in general, I think that I really want to illustrate how split this is. And this Rumble ulti was a bit poor. He does it like further, I think, on the Y. Yeah, he does it on the Y axis instead of the X. He should have put it in the X axis. But this is very, very split. If they stick together, like here, Wukong is diving 1v4 and dies immediately. Right here, if they stay together, they kill them. But it's very split. See, Yone's going in, out. Yone's going in while the rest of the team is going out. And then Lissandra's back up from dying from getting 1v2.
That's the problem with Spirit Form Yone is you basically, they know exactly where you're going to end up here in the next couple of seconds, so they can just kind of be like, okay, we're going to ignore the fighting Yone, and we're going to wait by his body so that when he comes back, you can just raffle stomp him, which is exactly what Lissandra did right there, hanging out in the back line. In the meantime, we have a situation right now where Beshiwap keeps getting caught by these Dark Bindings and just keeps getting locked in place in a position where he can't still auto-attack, because that is a root, not a stun. So if he positions correctly, he should still be able to hit things. And he's avoiding the black pool, so he's not taking that extra damage, but he's just out of the fight, so it doesn't even matter.
It's very interesting as well, because they first picked Morgana on the side of YUBI, and then they picked Draven FEC as a first pick on their side. And Morgana into Draven is really good in general, because you pretty much always know where Draven's going to be, because he's always going to try to get his axes, and that's usually where you can throw your bindings in general. And like you said, Beshiwap has been having a tough time, because it is a tough matchup for Draven.
It is, and it's a situation where Beshi has also been walking in straight lines, which is the #1 rule against Morgana. Do not walk in a straight line. If they are walking towards you, immediately start juking left or right. And while he only had one direction to juke, Morgana's just throwing that. Look at this. We got this fight going on right now. Once again, Morgana just walks straight up to Draven. Leona leaves him behind and just leaves him to die. That is Hap abandoning his bot laner. Admittedly, there's not much he could have done, but not even an ulti coming down. That's just, that's a big oof.
Yeah, I think Beshiwap is just tilted at this point. That was just not smart in general, and Wukong's just going to kill him in the top lane here too.
This fight, once again, Paytime not respecting the Wukong damage and getting 1v1. Right here. We're going to have Wild West Wild dive in on this too, but, or never mind. Take that back. He's going to get dived out if Utility Monster decides to join in the fight.
I don't know what to say. I actually think FEC has been... They made a lot of plays in general where I feel like if they played it better, if they just didn't tilt, they would be winning this game by a lot.
I think we mentioned that red champions and tinfoil hats are how you beat YUBI. So far, the only thing that has held true is the red champions. I'm afraid that the tinfoil hat theory just is not helping.
Well, what might could have happened is Beshiwap's tinfoil hat fell off during nice ulti.
Ulti coming out, managing to scoop both of them. The ulti does come down from Leona. That does not do enough damage. We have to have poor Camel Basil jump all the way back, though. Can't continue that engage.
Double flashes on their bot lane. You have to... Okay, fight.
Got a fight right here, right here. I did not see Wild West Wild hiding in that bush, and he manages to get popped. That is Paytime trying to do something, but is not able to pick it up, as that is going to be an easy Rift Herald pickup for Utility Monster. Camel Basil coming in onto the backline, going in onto this Lissandra. Lissandra is going to get a lot of damage out, though, and that's going to be a poor Paytime taken down. Once again, that is a root and a cleanse coming out. Beshiwap once again having to use his summoner spells just to survive, but it's not going to matter as he gets taken down by the damage. And then we have an Ash Arrow flying in wild. Doesn't hit Camel, but if he had, that would have been devastating.
Yeah, it's a lot of just I feel like there's a lot of split when it comes to FEC. Like that was another split team fight where they were just going one-on-one like it's solo queue.
I think what it was is we had Wild West Wild, who was kind of waiting for Paytime to get in position. I think Paytime was like, hey, maybe I can steal this Rift Herald by shooting over the wall. And there was just a fight that started in the river that I don't think Paytime was expecting to occur.
What I will say is I think this is one of the best I've seen a team play against YUBI, actually. I think a lot of the plays that they made, if they would have just played it better, if they would have sit together and had better communication, as he's just dead here.
I would actually completely disagree with that statement. We do have a nice catch by Falcon trying to get themselves something to come back into this game.
I think FEC is playing good here, actually. I think they're playing fine.
I don't think they are. I feel like they are, individually, they have players that are doing all right, but we have a disrespect of the damage from Freelancer on the side of Paytime. I feel like this Beshiwap Hap spot lane has not been coordinated. Leona Draven bot lane is supposed to be one of the deadliest bot lanes. Even when you have to deal with the Morgana, there are ways around it that Haps should have been able to avoid a lot of the black shields, baiting out a lot of the summoner spells, and we just haven't really seen it. In my opinion, FEC's kind of dropped the ball.
This is the first time ever. This is FOF history where I am not the most toxic person on the cast yet.
I wouldn't say that. I am very disappointed right now. FEC is better than this. They can definitely do better. Look at this fight. We have Camel Basil jumping onto the back line, trying to get Utility Monster. Utility Monster hasn't gone down once. Oh, he has gone down once. Okay, take that back. We do have a fight continuing here in the river. Look at that. We've got Draven on the back line, getting some nice double axes thrown out. Lots of damage. Sivlock is getting really low. Beshiwap getting himself, taking down Zach's passive right there. Look at that. Cleaning it up as best he can, but does not have the damage, and that is a triple kill going over to Lissandra from those ice clones.
Yeah, unfortunately as well, Morgana actually got that dragon. I think Rumble missed Smite, if I'm not mistaken, and then it was just a QW from Morgana.
We would have to do a replay to see that. I think that this is an easy inhibitor turret taken down on the side of YUBI. YUBI is cleaning up this game. They are playing some pristine League of Legends this game. I wouldn't necessarily, let me rephrase how I feel about FEC right now. It's not that they've been doing poorly, but YUBI has just been cleaning their clock.
Actually, I'd love to get into a debate about this, but there's not enough time. I actually think YUBI has been making a lot of plays that are pretty sus in general.
That's what I mean. Like their plays that they're making shouldn't be working, but they're working out in ways that they shouldn't.
Okay, well, yeah, I think that
they are showing that their coordination is just working out so much better for them. We have had a lot of disconnects in these fights for FEC where they've just been mispositioned. They've been split up, and in the meantime, YUBI's been much more coordinated and knowing exactly where they want to be on the map and when to basically catch out a lot of the FEC players, and it's been kind of bad. In FOF history, I have not been so let down by a team that I know is good.
I actually can't believe this. I'm smiling so hard. This is the first time I've never, I'm not gonna get canceled for the first time ever. It's gonna be my co-caster. Oh, he's just dead.
Oh my goodness, look at this. We've got Camel Basil once again getting caught out. It's not gonna matter. Ash just shreds him completely, and there's really not much to say at this point. This is a YUBI game. Like, YUBI has yet to lose a game. They are once again win. YUBI is win. They should just rename their team to WIN.
I don't understand what the play was for Yon. He went in a very dangerous way. I guess I'm just going to assume this is tilt by FEC because I think they're really good players in general, like you were saying. I just think that from their gameplay right now, it's either they're just tilted or they just don't know what's going on.
I'm not entirely sure. We'd have to get them into a interview or something and get some like actual conversations, but I have a feeling that whatever mind control drug YUBI slipped them would basically make any conversation moot. Brian's saying, taking a lot of damage, the chains of corruption are out, and that is going to be, we do have Beshuap managing to escape. Utility Monster is going to go down. We've got Camel Basil trying to dive onto the back lane. Leona ulti, splitting that ulti. That was a fantastic one, locking down the Ashe. That is a shutdown going over to Yon as he takes down Morgana. That is a shutdown going over to Jace as Ashe gets taken out as well, and we have Haps getting a nice lockdown on that Ashe.
See, that team fight in general, and to me, is like the culmination of this entire game. This is not a fight that YUBI should be taking, and they just come out ahead. This is the first time where FEC actually takes a fight, and it works out for them because it's the right call. They're making a lot of right calls, in my opinion. I think they've just been getting outplayed in general, or they're just split up. It's the first time they stuck together, and they won. That's a horrible fight by YUBI, but they do this a lot where I don't know if it's just disrespect or it's just like, yo, I'm 10-0, like we're just the best team in the tournament. But they take a lot of fights in general that they should not work. But I mean, that works.
It's oh my god, it's oh man. This is Freelancer for once. The Wukong's disrespecting the amount of damage that's going to be available against him as Freelancer gets just locked down and blown up.
Like I said, YUBI does so many things that just should not be allowed. And I love the energy.
I think the situation is YUBI's so far ahead at this point. I feel like they're like, oh, we're fine. We can go do these things. Let's go give them this shutdown gold so we can actually have a little bit of a fight here. Draven is starting to come online. Actually, hold on a second. What is that build? What is that triple? Yep, that was a good equalizer come down. Doesn't manage to get anyone locked in place, so it's not going to be a full amount of damage coming out. Jace is going to get a lot there. Utility Monster takes down Beshuap. We have a Jace jumping in onto the back line. We have a nice Ashe arrow coming and getting a nice stun off. Camel Basil tries to die, but doesn't manage to do it. We've got Leona trying to peel for his team, but Paytime gets taken out, and that is going to be Haps taken out for the cleanup, and this is probably game.
There we go. That's actually a very good play by YUBI there. Like they make me so mad because they do things that like shouldn't be allowed. Like that was a very good shot call. I don't remember who their shot caller. I think it's their jungler if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Jeff and Utility Monsters or shot callers. Don't quote me on that. But very smart by them. They do the Baron. They immediately pull off and take that fight. Good Rumble equalizer, but I think that they're just so far ahead that they die.
It was a combination of that. We have the disrespect fight happening right now as we've got shut down once again as Lissandra gets taken out by Rumble. Oh man, that was a tough game to watch. I just straight up like that was a tough one. YUBI has shown right here why you cannot go into a game and expect anything easy. You've got to come in with your A game. You've got to come in with something to bring to the table. I liked the idea of the Draven Leona bot lane. It does have a lot of damage, and it could have provided an opportunity for FEC to come into this fight, but they didn't have that front line to stop the Yuumi death ball.
Apparently, Mr. Jeff, mid-game, his girlfriend was making him chips and a sandwich. I would love to get an interview with Jeff to get the play-by-play of that in general.
Are we saying that Jeff has a girlfriend? You are interviewing Jeff? Okay. Because there's this thing going around right now about that. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This braless girlfriend apparently. I need the play-by-play on that in general. What is the mood? Did it affect his gameplay? Was the sandwich good? What's going on with that? Like, was it ham? Was it cheese? Turkey?
Oh my god. With that, we're just going to go ahead and take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back with an interview. There's not much more to say about this game. Everyone just stick around. We'll be right back as we send Fang to horny jail.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here for the third interview. I am joined by Jeff God Gamer of the victorious Universal Basic Income. What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about that game. FEC is definitely a team that we were concerned about. We still think they're a very strong team, and at this point, the only team that has beaten us. So we were excited. And the last time we faced them, they had some internet issues level 1. So it was finally nice to face them in a real match with no issues.
Talk to me a little about the draft that you folks put together, as well as maybe your reactions to a little bit of what they pulled out against you. With the jungle changes coming out, with more, which Found was talking about in the first 2 games, but with the extended camp timers, the little bit of catch-up experience, which if people don't know a little bit about that, the catch-up experience actually kicks in when you're actually just over 1 level behind comparative to the game, because it rounds it up to 2. So just a little note about that. But you guys bring out the Zac to great effect. What did you think about the draft that you folks put together? A lot of this all in, and what did you think about what they pulled out with the Draven?
Yeah, so the draft went almost exactly to our expectations, I think. I think the only thing that really surprised us was Jace. All of our picks were comfort picks and basically champions that we are all comfortable on, so nothing really new from us. I was surprised to see the Draven, but I don't think it was played correctly. They kind of got beaten up by Ash Morgana, and they are the only bot lane in FOF that we played against, in like 5 or 6 games that have respected us at level 2. So they didn't die at level 2, which is good. But yeah, they really didn't play aggressively at all, which is probably the Brian diff, as we like to call it.
The Brian diff. There you go. I was curious, just touching on the idea of Draven in this game. Before we talk more about this game in particular, I wanted to get your thoughts on the general ADC pool. In Season 11, I've touched on this with a couple of other players that we've had on the desk that have been ADCs. We saw earlier today the likes of, the Juggernaut is starting to show back up. Draven can certainly be played, not in this comp maybe, or into this composition, or in the comp that they had it in, but I think Draven has his place. There's Ezreal buffs on the horizon for folks who haven't seen that. What are your thoughts on the ADC pool, just the champions right now here in Season 11?
Yeah, I think a lot of AD carries are really good right now, which is nice. I think this is the 8th unique champion I've played over 11 games. So it definitely shows that we can play a lot of different champions, and that almost every AD carry is good, except for Aphelios, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to play him. But yeah, generally most AD carries are really good right now. Obviously, you have your cream of the crop right now, and then everything else. But I think you can definitely pick anything if you're good enough at it.
Now let's pivot that question and talk a little bit about your competition in this role in AD carry. Do you feel like there's a competition, or do you have a so-called tier list of the AD carries, your competition in this role in the league?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more so an entire bot lane as a whole, because Brian's definitely dictates a lot of bot lane.
Brian
and unfortunately, no other bot lane has really stepped up and gave us really any challenge. They either just let us free farm, or they die repeatedly to us. I think currently the only bot lane that we've died to 2v2 is TAS week 1. So besides that, we've definitely have just been going in and crushing every lane that they try to send against us.
Yeah, I mean, was TAS playing one of their wackier comps? Though I can't remember specifically if they're playing straight up against you guys in that composition.
It was I believe it was a normal bot lane.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
But yeah.
I was gonna say, if you get just like cheesed out by some of their Yas Ali shenanigans, it's like, sometimes you just sort of have to shake it off and be like, whatever, man. But one thing that I want to touch on before we go, it as an ADC player, and I understand this being a support main myself, it's all about what the resources that can be put into this role and how they can be distributed, and turned into leads and valuable objectives for the team. Your girlfriend comes in with a valuable clutch assist in the middle of the game, making sure that you have the energy that you need to absolutely destroy these kids in this game. Talk to me a little bit about this clutch sandwich delivery, the quality of the food. Just your general thoughts on the importance of this.
The game was getting pretty close. We were getting ready for Dragon, and I was in the middle of carrying our League of Legends game, and we were getting close to closing it out. And my girlfriend comes in braless, of course, and brings me a sandwich, a ham and cheese, which she knows is my favorite, even though I didn't ask for it. And she also gets me a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, my favorite. And so it was pretty good. It really gave me the motivation I need to pop off for the rest of the game and win those last couple of team fights.
There you have it, folks. It is a bit of a sandwich difference after all. Good job in this game to Universal Basic Income and to Jeff. Thanks so much for joining us for an interview. Before we go for our final game, do you have any thoughts you would like to leave us with, Jeff?
I don't have too much thoughts. I want to congratulate my team because if my math is correct, I believe this win locks us into first place. So I think we're really happy moving forward, and perhaps we can start, playing a little bit for fun if we don't want to go for the undefeated season.
Right on. Well, I wish you luck, not that you seem to need it, as we look forward to your play in the playoffs. Folks, don't go anywhere. We do have one final game coming up next. We have Team Asworth versus Team Spear.